maybe with just some gentle openers, and then you can work your way up to the full wheel, which is the queen of all back bends, and then some more advanced versions of that. So we'll start standing to start with our back bends today, and just interlace your fingers behind your back and draw your shoulder blades together behind you. Lower your chin down to the chest and tuck your tailbone under and start to breathe into the heart. So now as you inhale, lift through the heart, keep the tailbone tilted down, lift through the heart and look up. Breathe into your heart, 5 breaths. You can have your chin to your chest. Just starting to build some flexibility in the upper spine, which is very neglected. And then slowly releasing the hands, place your palms on your lower back, fingers facing up the spine, and the heel of the hand presses into the sacrum. So you tuck the tailbone under and lengthen the spine and lift your heart and gently arch back. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can just fall into the lower back and really strain your back, or tilt the tailbone down and lengthen from the lower back and lift through the heart, 5 breaths. Keep the shoulder blades drawn together. And slowly release. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. We're going to go into a vinyasa and work on some back bends from the floor. So folding forward, counter pose to a back bend is a forward bend. So draw the chin facing towards the shins. And then stepping your left foot back, lower the left knee to the floor. And right knee is 90-degree angle here. This is another variation of a back bend. So we're going to be in a lunge position. So we're stretching the left hip flexors and hip extensors. And at the same time, we're going to do the same variation by interlacing the fingers and lifting through the heart. So inhale into your heart and arch back slightly, grounded into this right foot so you're not wobbly, but you're very stable and balanced. So breathe into the heart, 5 breaths. You can look down and continue to arch the spine. Release, place your palms to the floor, step your right foot back, come into plank position. Exhale, lower down, all the way to the floor. We're going to come into cobra position. So cobra is the basic starter pose for all back bends, and we're going to do a couple variations of cobra. So palms under the shoulders, lift through the chest, and draw the shoulders back. So the first variation, you just want to lift the hands off the floor. So you're just using the strength in your back and not straining it at all. Palms are about 1 inch off the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulders back and look up. 5 breaths. Feel the strength in your back. Keep the pelvis pressing into the earth. And then lower the palms to the floor and draw the shoulder blades together behind you as you lift through the heart and the elbows are right in towards the sides. 5 breaths. And then lower the chest. We're going to press back into just child's pose. Forehead to the floor, hips to the heels, and take a breath into the back of your body. You're going to come back to hands and knees, step your left foot forward. And we're going to do the same lunge, but just with the left leg forward. So the left knee is 90 degrees, and the right knee is flat on the earth, right foot is flat. You can do the first variation where we interlace the fingers again, or interlace the fingers above the head, and except for the index and the thumb. Lengthen the spine as you reach up. Tilt the tailbone down and slightly arch back, lifting with the heart. So this is a little more advanced than the first version. So if the first version was challenging, stick with it, and then try this one for the second variation. So just lift with the heart, arch back, and exhale, palms to the floor, and step the left foot back. So now we're going to go into another variation, back bending. This is camel position. So you're going to start balancing tops of your feet. And there are a couple variations with this. The first one, we're just going to place the palms on the low back, fingers facing up the spine, the heel of the hand pressing into the sacrum, so the sacrum can get long and you lift through the heart as you arch back. So this is variation one. Just like the standing version, you're lifting through the heart, protecting your lower back, and drawing the shoulder blades down together behind you. 3 breaths into your heart. And inhale back up. Second variation, you're going to either go up on the top of your toes on the left foot, or you can keep the left foot flat. Whichever variation, you can still reach your heel or ankle. And then reaching the right arm up to the sky, lift through the heart, gently arch back. 5 breaths. And inhale back up. Switch sides. So the right hand goes to the right heel or ankle, and the left arm up to the sky, and gently arch back. 5 breaths. So if this is too deep for you, you just stick with the first variation again, where the palm is on the low back. Otherwise, lift through the heart and lay your head back. Relax the neck. 5 breaths. Inhale back up. Last variation, we're going to do full, this is a full, one of the variations of camel. You're going to place both hands on your heels or ankles. You could be on the tops of the toes or the feet flat. Lift through the heart, arch back. This also stretches your shoulders. Tuck the tailbone under and lengthen from the low back. Lift through the heart. 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the chest, and sit all the way back down onto your heels. And the next counter pose is just to come into child's pose from here and fold forward, relax your forehead towards the mat, and kneel down into the floor. Take 5 breaths. The last back bend we're going to do is a bridge pose, and you can work your way up to full wheel from here. So you're going to come to seated and lay all the way down onto your back, feet flat behind your hips, fingers reaching towards your heels, and you're going to exhale, lift the hips towards the sky, pelvic tilt upwards, interlace your fingers underneath you, just like before. Walking the shoulder blades in together, opening through the heart chakra. Lift the hips towards the sky, chest towards the chin. 5 deep breaths. And release, and slowly lower down 1 vertebra at a time. Now the last variation is full wheel. If full wheel is unavailable to you, just do the first bridge variation that we just did. But you're going to start, palms placed flat behind the shoulders, elbows facing up towards the sky, fingers facing the feet. Just going to start by shifting your hips towards your heels and going up on the top of your head. And you want to go from here, extending the arms straight. So if your shoulders are too tight, or if your back is not flexible enough, it's going to be challenging to lift. So from here, just stay here if this is as far as you can go, and just work with the strength, work with the flexibility. Press into the feet, and if you can, extend the arms straight, lift through the abdomen, and press the heart towards the wall behind your head, and take a few breaths, maybe even if it's just 1 or 2 breaths. And after you're finished, just slowly bending the elbows lower down to the head, bend the knees, lower all the way down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. And just give yourself a nice little lower back massage. Ah. I hope our back bending session helped you open up your heart, open up your spine, and feel really great. Stay tuned. See you soon. Namaste.